Hey, what's up everybody? Today I have some exciting news for professional VR filmmakers. Mistika VR and Mistika Boutique now officially support Insta360 stabilization data, so you can use the powerful edge point technology and stereo 3D stitching with moving VR footage shot on the Insta360 Pro 2 or the Insta360 Titan right there in 10-bit color depth. We can even use the non-destructive workflow on Mistika Boutique, minimize rendering time and only render at the end of the post-production to retain the highest image quality from the source file. People always ask me why my footage looks so much better on Oculus Quest, and that is the secret. I don't touch the individual source file until the final delivery. Stitching, editing, color grading, and VFX like tripod removal all happen in a single pipeline. So only one final render is needed. Let me show you how easy the new Mistika VR or Mistika Boutique is handling Titan footage and my stitching workflow. Let's dive right in. Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Hugh here from Creator Up. I am moving into my new studio and still working on it. Let me know in the comment section if you like my new setup or not. I also rented a new laptop, the Razer Blade Studio 15 laptop with Nvidia Quadro RTX 5000. This is the world's fastest laptop for video editing and VR post-production. It is the key for all my upcoming job shooting on the Insta360 Titan in 11K or 8K 3D. We are going to stitch with this little computer on set with Hollywood clients. If you are interested in my unbiased review on the Razer Blade Studio 15, drop me a comment below. So, before today, Mistika VR or Mistika Boutique does support Insta360 stabilization, but the result is not as good as flow state stabilization. If my camera is moving, I usually just use the Insta360 stitcher, but Roman from Mistika just improved the math. Now the stabilization result from Mistika is as good, if not better, than Insta360 stitcher, especially for Insta360 Titan right there. As we all know, we need Mistika Boutique to really utilize the benefit of 10-bit color depth to recover highlights and shadows in coloring. Now we can and also move the camera. If you are one of those VR cinematographers that love to move your Titan on a rover or on a drone, now you can. Don't go crazy though. Check out this video on how to frame and move your VR camera correctly. Let me quickly demo you the Insta360 Titan Mistika VR workflow. Insta360 Pro 2 will be exactly the same. To make this fun, right now we're gonna do it live with you to open Mistika VR together and do the stitching to really test out the performance of this brand new Razer Blade Studio 15 and see how powerful this little guy is to handle the Titan footage in 8K by 8K 10-bit in ASOC265. So yeah, let's find out. Let's go ahead and open Mistika VR. So first thing is go ahead and create a new project. Titan will output 8K by 8K footage. This is a very important step. Make sure your frame rate is exactly the same as what the Titan capture, which is 29.9, actually, yeah, 29.97, and just name it and hit OK. We open up Mistika. So my file is stored in my external SSD, and that's what you should get as well to make sure that your bottleneck is not your hard drive speed. Preferably, actually, not even SSD. Move your footage in your internal storage will be a lot faster. But since I have a lot of footage here from the Titan, so I'm gonna use SSD. So I'm gonna open the footage right here and go ahead and only grab the source file, which is origin 567 A file from the A list of Insta360 Titan right there. Drag it in. So right here, go ahead and just tell Mistika is A list per file. Just select the random Insta360 Titan template that we can use. I have one right here, but doesn't matter because this is off anyway. We gonna actually go to your project source file from your DIT from the Insta360 Titan here at the pro.prj file. Drag it, drop it right here. Immediately it used the correct Titan stitch right here. Go ahead, turn on optical flow. Again, the feather is way too big. Usually 20 should be enough. And again, this is stereoscopic footage, so you should turn on black and white anagram to check out the stereo. And the other thing that I always do is like your hand and finger, put in E and R. E is left eye and R is right eye. You see, I quickly switch left and right eye to make sure they are all look fine. Okay, so the benefit of using Mistika VR is you can use edge point, but before you even do that, so pay attention, the horizon line is not straight. Go ahead and play this footage. You see that? See? The camera, this camera is on a boat. The boat is a sailboat, so it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. You can see the horizon line is actually not straight. Let me actually turn on proxy mode so you can actually see what's going on. Let's quick view so play faster. So you see right here, the boat is moving up and down, up and down. The horizon line is not straight. Actually, I will turn on the grip system to tell you, like, to show you this is actually not straight. You see right here? Oh, turn it off. So the horizon line is not straight, it's going this like really wavy line, right? So we gotta fix all that. But before we do that, we need to fix some stereoscopic problem on the Titan. So go ahead and turn on anagram mode right here, and white anagram, and look at the distant object right here. This should have no stereo disparity on distant objects. Actually, this is pretty good. Maybe I say here a little bit. You can adjust. So hold down shift and drag it. See, you can adjust stereo disparity. Make sure the distant object have zero disparity in the entire scene right here. Again, fix that. Again, turn back on high quality mode so you can see better. See right here, we fixed it. This should have no disparity. Right here, that's good. Okay, good. So we fixed all the stereo problem in the distant object. And now we have another problem is if you look at left and right eye, both eye, the axis is actually in the stitch line area right here. So one thing about Insta360 Titan that nobody tell you, not Insta360, not Mistika tell you, that you see that each time I move my playhead, it literally takes like 20 seconds to jump to there. This is not a fault of Mistika or even my laptop. No matter how powerful a laptop is, Insta360 record H.265 in 10-bit, highly compressed, high-quality footage. And that's not gonna work well in any editing software. The step one, if you want a really good performance, even in Mistika VR or Mistika Boutique later, actually Mistika Boutique have an entire workflow of how you transcode that into an native format, then stitch. This is actually a better workflow, but for you guys don't have Boutique, using Mistika VR, I would highly recommend to transcode everything in the ProRes HQ or just ProRes 422. Make sure I have 10-bit color in ProRes and import the ProRes, just ditch the H.265, you don't need that anymore. Import the ProRes into Mistika and then you have a better, way better performance because ProRes is a native format. How to do that? You can use media encoder to just do that. It's very easy. So transcoding is actually a really standard workflow 5 years or 10 years ago in every like old school videographer. Now machines are so powerful, we just skip that process. But for a lot of newcomer, new videographers don't understand the transcode and proxy format, they don't do that. But in VR, you have to go with the old school. Transcode your footage will give you a better performance if that is what you want. You want to have real-time playback. Again, I'm lazy here, I'm not going to transcoding, but I want to fix the issue because when she's going to stitch line, especially on the on the left eye and see that this is the problem that we need to fix. Even optical flow cannot fix that. The way to fix that, the reason why this Mistika is the stitch point. So the edge point, we're gonna use remember this is a 3D footage, we're gonna use the edge point stereo. Oh, wrong one. Remove it. We're gonna also turn on this so you know which lens is which. Make sure to select the correct lens right here. Turn off this. So now correct lens selected. By the way, that is stereo correction. It's only used on VR 180 tool because I was working on a VR 180 project before this. So selected this one, but unselect that. And then now you can go ahead and select the lens profile, edge point stereo. Actually, it's still not the one I want. Remove that. I want to edge point stereo on lens number 1 right here. And edge point stereo. Boom, there you go. So now I can cover the entire axis movement. And let's go ahead and add one more edge point stereo. And let's cover a dress as well. And the actor's face. So now she is inside the safe zone. And edge point stereo is very powerful. They move the left and right eye at the same time. If you look at like left and right eye, both eye, the actor is in frame in safe mode, so she would not have any stereo disparity. So that the stitching is done. Again, you can spend a lot of time to really fix this footage. Make it more room to fix everything in here. Is on the elbow. But again, what we really want to protect is the protagonist or the lead actress and actor in the frame. As long as they look perfect, usually it's good enough in a stereoscopic standpoint, at least like in a low budget feature film. So we do the stitching. That's usually what you learn so far from all my tutorial. But now we have a problem because this Titan is on a sailboat. Both keep bobbing up and down. The horizon line is not straight. Obviously, you see that right there. The turn of the grip system. So how can we fix that? Well, using Mistika have this stabilization feature. You can just go ahead and stabilize it, but it does not have the internal camera metadata to tell you the horizon line. So you don't know the horizon line at all in here. But luckily, in the new update, which will be released soon, you probably don't have it right now, but will release soon on both Mistika VR and Mistika Boutique, is you can now go ahead right here, say import stabilization meta, hit that, attention here. Boom! It fixed the horizon line correctly. Sometimes if you forgot to calibrate your camera before rolling, you actually see a not perfectly horizon line stable footage. That is actually my fault because I did not calibrate the camera before going on the sailboat. You can easily fix that by just drag right here. Actually, control drag or drag and control drag to realign the horizon line perfectly. See right there? The horizon line is perfect. See, now I fixed the horizon line. Even Insta360 can't fix it for me. So you can always fix it in post with this new feature. So now go ahead and if you play that, you can just take out one distraction point. And as you see, the footage is moving because it's still like it's H.265 footage and you will not get real-time playback no matter what system you have. But you see the horizon line is perfectly straight. We are on a sailboat going like that the whole time. And Mistika really like import the metadata generated by the Insta360 Titan, which is really good 9-axis stabilization, and get the horizon line perfectly straight on a bumpy ride on the sailboat. And that is the new powerful feature. Now you can ditch the Insta360 stitcher and use Mistika VR to stitch entirely to get perfect stitch and also get perfect stabilization, as you see right here. I want to offer more value in this video, so I'm going to show you Mistika Boutique quickly now and why you should just get Mistika Boutique. Well, the reason is actually very simple. Mistika Boutique includes everything in Mistika VR, so you basically get Mistika VR, a very advanced Scratch VR or DaVinci Resolve like coloring solution or coloring tool, and Foundry Nuke like compositing and VFX tool, all in one single package. The coloring tool is the most powerful one in the 3D compositing, using in lots of major Hollywood film like recently Captain Marvel. Well, let's talking. Let me show you Mistika Boutique right now. Okay, now let's open Mistika Boutique. So make sure you are on the latest version right here. Current version I'm on is this version. Again, this is not a Mistika Boutique tutorial. I will have an in-depth tutorial later on. So I'm just gonna open the project we just did. So we already import all the footage. But one thing I'm gonna show you guys is, let's just unmute the display so I can see what's going on. Remember that those are really large files, those are the H.265 footage. If you really want to increase performance, you should really transcode it. Look at that, now my whole interface is all frozen because we try to actually let you see the preview on here, from the Stitch, from VR Stitch. But instead of doing that, we gonna create some proxy right here. So go ahead and control click to duplicate each. Go to output, we're gonna transcode that into a proxy format. We're gonna use Mistika, we're gonna use Y22, but remember that is a 10-bit footage. So we're gonna use RG, we can use just right there, 10p, 10-bit. Actually, this one is good enough for 10-bit. So we actually transcode 10-bit to 10-bit. But one other thing that you see the project sequence right here, let's go ahead and save it. We need to make sure that the transcode file is the exact same size of the single lens file. So actually right now it's not. So make sure you exit Mistika and go open Mistika project config right here and load in a project that I just created for you guys. So right here, proxy making. So again, you can just create a profile by 3840 by 2880. That's a single lens profile sizes for Insta360 Titan, and you can create that. I will just have it. So I should load this template. Only thing you need to be really careful is make sure the frame rate right here is 29.97. So exact same frame rate as the source file right here. So go ahead and click OK. Now we load up that template. We can go ahead and open Mistika Boutique again. Great. So now you pay attention. Now our project output setting will be 3840 by 2880. So again, select all the file. Go ahead and go to output right here. Make sure you select Mistika. Again, if you don't want to use Mistika, you can also transfer that into QuickTime, the ProRes. Mistika is actually faster in native format. Make sure you take 10-bit, not 8-bit, because there's a 10-bit footage, the highest resolution possible, right? Same file size. And here, make sure you split by timecode. So basically create one by one proxy for each lens. Everything selected. So we're gonna render start on the front ground. Set. Yes, override it. As you see, it's really fast to transcode. That file is a 10-minute file. Start in the Titan with H.265. This machine is actually really fast. Help with also with Mistika rendering. So now we spit out proxy just like crazy. See the proxy generate already on top of the original source footage, which is very convenient. And with this is not even a proxy file, right? This is actually a raw file. Then we can edit on and without the delay of the Titan file. So make your life a lot easier. And that's one advantage about the Mistika Boutique compared to Mistika VR. Okay, now it's done. We go ahead. Just grab those, move it out, and I don't think I need anything anymore. Delete everything that is clock up my timeline. Yeah, so now all 8 lenses is aligned perfectly. So now we're gonna go ahead and if you go back to it. Unmute. Let's play him right here. Look at that. Now it's very fast. So now go ahead. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna stitch, but instead of stitching in Mistika VR, we're gonna stitch directly in Mistika Boutique. So it's actually in here is an effect. called VR Stitch. So go ahead and hit VR Stitch. Go ahead and put an effect contain all this file. Double click inside VR Stitch. You see the file is right here. And one thing about Mistika Boutique is you have to make sure the resize right here have to be input instead of project. So we can go ahead one by one to fix that. There's an easier way to fix that called global. I'm just lazy right now. I'm just go ahead and quickly fix that for you to make sure all the input size for each lens is the size of the input file, not the project file, not the project size, so we can actually have the full lens data. Okay, after that is done, now go ahead and go to the VR Stitch. In here, we're gonna again import Stitch right here, and then go ahead and pick the thing you just learned, right? The project file right here. Go ahead and use this as a template, and boom, it's stitched right here. So, see, the resolution size is a little bit funky, so go ahead and save that. And go ahead and go back, and let's go ahead and exit Mistika VR. The reason why the size is funky is, see, why not the project size is not 2x1, it's not VR size. One cool thing about Mistika VR is resolution independent, meaning that you can cut it on 2K and then render out in 8K. It doesn't matter, everything you do on effects, rig removal, color grading, everything will resolutionally scale into the final delivered format. So since I'm working on a laptop, it's not fast enough. I want to make a smaller project file so it can work faster, and then at the end we'll just change project file into 8K and render out 8K. And that is the power of Mistika Boutique, right? So, but go ahead and just hit that. Now again, go open Mistika config tool right here, but this time I'm gonna pick a VR format. For demonstration purpose, I will just pick the smallest VR format right here. Again, make sure 29.97 correct. Go ahead and hit save. Now, if you open Mistika Boutique, now the project file will be 2x1 in 1920 by 960. Like it's a really small file now, so my computer will actually work even faster. Again, if you have a slower computer, that's the workflow you should use to just work in a smaller file size, but render in a higher file size, so you don't get stuck to the server farm to work. You can also work on the road. You go ahead and just open those files again. It's right here right now. It's a lot faster now, as you see, because we are on a proxy file in a smaller file size. Go ahead and hit VR Stitch. So it's already in 3D because it's a 3D file. And it's already stitched. Again, if you forgot what I just did, I actually import Stitch from the Mistika project file and already stitched it for me. Again, optical flow is not turned on, so go ahead. So this section right here is basically what you usually get from Mistika VR, and optical flow is right here. Using OF wrap near this camera, basically it's optical flow. See, everything's fixed already. And same shortcut gonna work on here. If you turn on 2 to 3, like this thing will show lens profile, but again the feather is way too big, so again I'm gonna do 20% feather. Same thing, right? We see the horizon line is not straight. We have this problem that axis in the stitch line. So if you turn on 2D right here and our left and right view, we see the problem area right here. So go ahead and hit this lens right here. Go ahead and add an edge point. Add a stereo edge point. Boom, right here. Now let's add one more. There you go. So go ahead and move this to protect the leg area right here. Move this one to protect the edges. So just make sure that left and right eye. So now the Titan is protected in stereo space. Great. So now last thing, again, horizon line, right? So you can easily just import stabilization, hit that. So right here the problem is we can't import stabilization because we cannot import the stabilization because we actually transcode that into a different file. Proxy or not, or actually different file, so you can't just inject Insta360 meta in it now. But don't worry, because another great thing about using a proxy workflow right here is you can literally drag like what you did already, the VR stitch over here on top of the system one to copy and paste it over into a new clip. So this one, I can just literally make it bigger. Like we move this VR stitch, you can use this instead. Make sure I cover all the file. Because VR stitch is just an effect, right? You can just like grab it if you go ahead and hold it on here. Now you see horizon line is straight because we actually import. So what happened right now? Let me just tell you guys what just happened. I want to have a real-time playback, so I transcode the original source file from a stock 265 into a Mistika understanding format so I can work faster. But the Insta360 meta stored in the stock 265 is not gonna be converted into Mistika format. So I already did the stitch with the original Insta360 file, which is just one frame. I can easily do a stitch, import the stabilization data, and get everything calibrated already. And I'm gonna move that VR stitch effect into my proxy file. And then everything just stayed the same. So we can, as far as the file is, we can basically reuse effect. And we can do the same thing like so, right? We did any color grading, any effects on the proxy file or on the transcode file. We can easily move that into the original file, so we don't have to render anything if we don't want to. That is the one great thing about Mistika VR is. So that's why, see, the horizon line is super level. Now, if you turn on the grip system, we hope you can see it. Yeah, you see it's really level well if you play it. So now go ahead and trim the thing that we don't need anymore with the VR stitch. We just look at the VR stitch right here. If you go ahead and play it, we get a real-time playback. It's really dope in the 8K footage. It's amazing, and you see it pretty straight, pretty level. Horizon's pretty level. So now, let's talk about other things that you might not know about Mistika Boutique. The reason why you're actually using this software, right? Let's go back. Let's go ahead and do some VR color grading, which is we haven't done that in this channel. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and add a color grading node right here. Wait, hold on. Let's make sure that I select everything. Add a color grading node right here. So let's do some VR color grading. So this footage is pretty dull, so I just go ahead and, raise the gamma, gain, shadow, and let's go ahead and open some chart right here. Is good. Let's go 100%. 70% is good. Positive value. Yes. Okay, great. So this, by the way, this color grade is also left and right eye color grading, so it's really good Mistika stuff. And as you see right here, if you open the chart, this is a 10-bit video file, but there's a clipping on the highlight and the shadow. We can actually set up the pivot point right here, and then we gotta bring down. We'll bring down the soft clip right here. Turn it. Look. Pay attention to the top on the chart right there. Let's make the pivot point a little bit lower so I can actually soft clip that. Now if you pay attention to the highlight, I am brought down the highlight back to the safe zone now. So we can go ahead and take control. Let's go to sun. This is a blowout spot, right? This is a highlight spot. It should be white because it's the sun, but now it's, let's see if we can show what's going on right here. You see right now it's not white. This is not collabing with each other, the green, red, and blue channel. So we can use temperature slider first. Kind of match that. Yeah, we should less blue and now the color look a lot better, but it's still overly green. If you see, it's a green cast right here. So this is the highlight, right? So make sure you don't see lift and offset is the gain. So go ahead and increase the gain of the look. Pay attention to the green arrow right here. So just drop it. So now all three arrows is kind of overlap with each other on the highlight. And as you see, now the footage look exactly like that day, shooting day. Every color look amazing, and we correctly white balance this VR footage. It's that simple. Using printer light right here, printer step, and temperature slider. And obviously, also the footage now look a lot better. You can increase some saturation right there. And I think we are ready to go. We got a beautiful footage right here. Turn up the chart right here. We got a beautiful footage right here. And it worked on both left and right eye because of VR footage. And then we can go ahead and render. The last cool thing I really want to show you is also Mistika Boutique is an entire VFX suite. So one thing we really common is we always want to find a really good VR sharpening plugin, and we have one built in Mistika Boutique. So go ahead and hit sharpen effects. So make sure you select everything. Hit sharpen. If you go in here, as you see, turn off VR mode. The VR sharpening right here, if you increase the radius, see everything sharpen immediately. You can see it. And if you go to mapping, right here, you can have lat long, meaning that the VR sharpening will have no, if you see it, turn around, no stitch line and no stitch line, and everything to look perfectly sharpened with the VR sharpening effects. It's the one cool thing that Mistika Boutique have that DaVinci Resolve don't have, and Premiere have it, but it's not as good as Mistika VR. And again, there's a lot of like special effects right here built inside Mistika, and it's edge aware, it's VR friendly, so you can apply a lot of effects like denoise and blur. All the blur effects are all sphere aware, so there's no stitch line. So I think I showed you a pretty good idea of how powerful is Mistika Boutique. So hopefully in the next detailed tutorial course, I can show you more how I use Mistika Boutique to create beautiful VR footage in 10-bit, in ProRes, and just look beautiful. So if you want to learn more about Mistika Boutique or advanced 360 VR filmmaking and post-production, I built this studio for my upcoming 360 masterclass that you don't want to miss. We are going to start filming next week with all the world-leading experts who work in the Hollywood VR industry. So definitely hit the subscribe button if you have not already, or if you are new here, and the notification bell as well, so I can let you know when this course is ready. I am doing a talk on virtual IBC with Mistika team on September 10th. That you don't want to miss that as well. We will discuss my latest music video and many exciting projects I am working on right now. So you can learn by doing. So see you on virtual IBC.